Because we're doing this new intro. Hey, hi, how you doing? God bless. Paz y Cristo, hermanos. Paz y Cristo, hermanas. Dios los bendiga a todos. Hola, los quiero bendecir. Bendecir. I want to welcome you all into this other new video of this month, this day, and the continuation of where we left off last in the Bible. I know you saw Matthew 6:6 on the screen. It's just a prayer thing because we should always pray before anything, before we do anything good. So I want to start off this session with a prayer. And after the prayer, I'll give in some things I'm trying to do, some things I'm still trying to do, trying to figure out. And after that, we will start with the reading. We will read 2 chapters every day and maybe discuss them right after. Well, for now, I'll be discussing my thoughts maybe throughout the reading or before the reading. Before the reading, I already read it. Yes, I already read it, but we will be doing this while we read, and maybe while we're reading or after we're done reading. So yeah, let's get into this. Let's get to a little prayer. Close our eyes, our heads. Father, please, I pray to you, Jesus Christ. En sabiduría, dame sabiduría, por favor, Jesucristo, leyendo tu palabra, Jesucristo. Dame lo suficiente intelectual para poder entender y agarrar todo lo bien. Agarrar todo the knowledge of this book, of your gospel, Jesus Christ. I beg of you, please. I pray to you that everyone out there is keeping your word and reading your word every day, Jesus Christ. The big thing, give them time, allow them to be in your word, Jesus Christ. Para que tú llena todo tu sangre, derramar tu sangre sobre nosotros, Cristo. En tu misericordia, Cristo, ten siempre tu misericordia, Cristo. Por favor, ayúdanos a poder leer cada día, poder tener un poco de tiempo para poder leer tu palabra, Cristo. Y te damos gracias por cada día que nos has dado, cada día de salud que nos sigues dando. Gracias, Jesucristo. Gracias. Amen. Amen, amen. Okay. So, I guess we'll start. We'll continue. We are in John 17. So, we will start at John 17, continue to John 19. So, let's continue. Jesus prays to be glorified. After Jesus said this, he looked towards heaven and prayed, Father, the hour has come. Glorify your Son, that your Son may glorify you. For you granted him authority over all the people, that he might give eternal life to all those you have given him. Now this is eternal life, that they know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom you have sent. I have brought you glory on earth by finishing the work you gave me to do. And now, Father, glorify me in your presence with the glory I had with you before the world began. Jesus prayed for the disciples. I have revealed you to those whom you gave me out of the world. They were yours, you gave them to me, and they have obeyed your word. Now they know that everything you have given me comes from you. For I gave them the words you gave me, and they accepted them. They knew with certainty that I came from you, and they believed that you sent me. I pray for them. I am not praying for the world, but for those who have given me, for they are yours. All I have is yours, and all you have is mine. And glory has come to me through them. I will remain in the world no longer, but they are still in the world, and I am coming to you, Holy Father. Protect them by the power of your name, the name you gave me, so that they may be one as we are one. Basically, the Holy Father protect them by the power of your name, the name you gave me. So basically, he's talking about Jesus Christ, Father. While I was with them, I protect them and kept them safe. That name you gave me, none has been lost except one doomed to destruction, so that Scripture would be fulfilled. I am coming to you now, but I say these things while I am still in the world, so that they may have the full measure of my joy within them. I have given them your word, and the world has hated them, for they are not of the world, any more than I am of the world. My prayer is not that you take them out of the world, but that you protect them from the evil one. They are not of the world, even as I am not of it. Sanctify them by the truth. Your word is truth. As you sent me into the world, I have sent them into the world. For them I sanctify myself, that they too may be truly sanctified. Jesus prays for all believers. My prayer is not for them alone. I pray also for those who will believe in me through their message, that all of them may be one. Father, just as you are in me and I am in you, may they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. I have given them the glory that you gave me, that they may be one as we are one. I in them and you in me, so that they may be bright to complete unity. Then the world will know what you sent me, and have loved them even as you have loved me. Father, I want those who you have given me to be with me where I am, and those to see my glory, the glory you have given me because you loved me before the creation of the world. Righteous Father, though the world does not know you, I know you, and they know that you have sent me. I have made you known to them, and will continue to make you known, to order that the love you have for me may be in them, and that I myself may be in them. Amen. That's 17. Chapter 18. Jesus arrested. When he was finished praying, Jesus left with his disciples and crossed the Kidron Valley. On the other side there was a garden, and he and his disciples went into it. Now Judas, who betrayed him, knew the place, because Jesus had often met there with his disciples. So Judas came to the garden, guiding a detachment of soldiers and some officials from the chief priest and the Pharisees. They were carrying torches, lanterns, and weapons. Jesus, knowing all that was going to happen to him, went out and asked them, "Who is it you want?" "Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "I am he," Jesus said, and Judas the traitor was standing there with them. When Jesus said, "I am he," they drew back and fell to the ground. Again he asked them, Who is it you want?" "Jesus of Nazareth," they said. Jesus answered, "I told you that I am he. If you are looking for me, then let these men go." This happened so that the words he had spoken would be fulfilled. I have not lost one of those you gave me." Then Simon Peter, who had a sword, drew it and struck the high priest's servant cutting off his right ear. The servant's name was Malchus. Jesus commanded Peter, put your sword away. Shall I not drink the cup the Father hath given me? Then the detachment of soldiers with its commanders and the Jewish officials arrested Jesus. They bound him and brought him first to Annas, who was the father-in-law of Caiaphas, the high priest that year. Caiaphas was the one who had advised the Jewish leaders that it would be good if one man died for the people. Peter's first denial. Simon Peter and another disciples were following Jesus because this disciple was known to the high priest. He went with Jesus into the high priest's courtyard, but Peter had to wait outside at the door. The other disciples, who was known to the high priest, came back, spoke to the servant girl on duty there, and brought Peter in. You aren't one of this man's disciples too, are you? She asked Peter. He replied, I am not. I was cold, and the servant and officials stood around a fire they had made to keep warm. Peter also was standing with them, warming himself. The high priest questions Jesus. Meanwhile, the high priestess questioned Jesus about his disciples and his teaching. I have spoken openly to the world, Jesus replied. I will always taught in synagogues. I cannot, forgive me, for I cannot say this word, synagogues, or at the temple, where all the Jews come together. I said nothing in secret. Why question me? Ask those who heard me. Surely they know what I said. When Jesus said this, one of the officials nearby slapped him in the face. Is this the way you answer the high priest? He demanded. If I said something wrong, Jesus replied, testify as to what is wrong. But if I spoke the truth, why did you strike me? Then Annas sent him bound to Caiaphas the high priest. Peter's second and third denial. Meanwhile, Simon Peter was still standing there warming himself, so they asked him, you aren't one of his disciples too, are you? He denied it all, saying, I am not. One of the high priest's servants, a relative of men whose ear Peter had cut off, challenged him. Didn't I see you with him in the garden? Again Peter denied it, and at that moment a rooster began to crow. Jesus before Pilate. My English is not the best. Then the Jewish leaders took Jesus from Caiaphas to the palace of the Roman governor, but by now it was early morning, and to avoid ceremonial uncleanness, they did not enter the palace because they wanted to be able to eat the Passover. So Pilate came out to them and asked, what charges are you bringing against this man? If he was not a criminal, they replied, we would not have handed him over to you. Pilate said, take him yourselves and judge him by your own law. But we have no right to execute anyone, they objected. This one place to fulfill what Jesus had said about the kind of death he was going to die. Pilate then went back inside the palace, summoned Jesus, and asked him, are you the king of the Jews? Is that your own idea? Jesus asked, or did others talk to you about me? Am I a Jew? Pilate replied. Your own people and chief priest handed you over to me. What is it you have done? Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would fight to prevent my arrest by the Jewish leaders. But now my kingdom is from another place. You are a king then, said Pilate. Jesus answered, you say that I am a king. In fact, the reason I was born and came into the world is to testify of the truth. If everyone on the side of the truth listens to me, what is truth? Retorted Pilate. With this, he went out again to the Jews gathering there and said, I find no bias over a charge against him. But it is your custom for me to release to you one prisoner at a time for the Passover. Do you want me to release the king of the Jews? They shouted back, No, not him. Give us Barabbas. Now Barabbas had taken part in an uprising. And that's it for today. 17, we read 18. Tomorrow will be 19 and 20. And 21, so we can finish off the whole thing. Alrighty, so that was it. So this is the plan. I mean, everything's going according to God's plan, because he already set this in motion. He said it, he prophesied it, and he told the disciples that this was to be happen, and that's why he confirms to the king. If my kingdom was from the world, they would be fighting to release me, but they are not, because they know it's part of the plan. Mark 1:35. Now in the morning have risen a long while before the light. We went out and departed to a solitary place, and there he prayed. Thank you, Lord, for your word and wisdom. I pray that everyone has understand this. I pray that I was able to read your word properly and loud and clear. Okay. So yeah, okay. Thank you for tuning in. I know these are not like the best or funnest right now, but we're barely getting the ball rolling, so bear with me. We will have better discussions than this once I'm able to figure out the whole COVID-19 situation and figure out how to do what times I should do the stuff, the meetings and everything. It's pretty hard for me. So here where I'm currently staying at, because a lot of people, a lot of family members, and everything. Not all brothers in Christ, but God's still working with them. So yeah, I thank you for your time. I will be trying to do a video with one of the brothers very soon. I'll see how that goes, and then I guess that'll be a different section where we read a certain topic, maybe of the day. We'll probably use like a randomizer or something about a topic, and we'll search up good things to read about and to note about. We'll have a discussion about it. We could have a discussion about COVID-19, but pretty sure you've heard it. You've heard it everywhere. And God bless. Stay safe. Wash hands. Just follow the rules. Obey the law. Obey your parents. For the Lord said to obey those that are in authority, also your parents. So yeah, I thank you for your time and hope to see you all again. God bless you all and have a wonderful day.